Alright, so I'm outside with one of my children. So you're going to hear some cooing and some little noises. Maybe some background noise like some wind. Maybe some yard tools. It's July 3rd. I haven't loved a movie. I go years in between being like, oh my god, that's a keeper. That movie's a keeper. And so I've seen The Northman twice. And the first time I saw it, I thought it was great, but I kind of wanted it to be more epic, more like Braveheart, and it wasn't. It was kind of more of a personal film. It was a lot smaller scale than I was expecting it to be. But in hindsight, now that I've seen it a couple times, it's fantastic. It is one of the best movies I've seen in years. It's definitely a keeper. This has been a pretty good year for movies for me, personally. It started off with Batman, and then The Northman, and then Top Gun. But of those three movies, which I like all of them, I feel like The Northman is the best. Top Gun, second. Batman, the third. Which is crazy, because I'm a huge Batman fan. Like a huge Batman fan. But honestly, The Northman. You know, I'm not even, like, I have no Viking heritage whatsoever. I've never really liked Viking movies. I'm not into the culture. I'm not into, like, their weaponry or their costumes, their clothing. I'm just not super into it. However, I have liked The 13th Warrior. I thought that was, like, kind of the best Viking movie I'd ever seen. And then I really do like Beowulf, the Robert Zemeckis cartoon. Those were kind of, like, my favorite Viking-related things. But The Northman just kind of opened up a whole... It was just such a magical movie. Like, it was such a mix of brutal realism with, like, also, like, spiritual, heavenly godliness that is hard to articulate. Like, it kind of was this all-encompassing film on a level that I can't really quite do it justice. It's a beautiful movie, and it has a simplified version of the plot of Hamlet, and it's just fantastic. It was such a breath of fresh air to see something that was like not. It was just such a sincere movie. Like it had nothing about it that felt. It, I hate to be like it was non woke, but it was like the like the least woke thing I've seen in a long time. Okay, it was the least woke thing I've seen in a long time. It was just this epic spiritual journey that I just love. I just love this movie. I don't know if it has something for the whole family. I don't know that. I mean, my wife saw it once and she's kind of like in the middle about it. Like she didn't love it, but she didn't hate it. But yeah, from my perspective, I was like, wow, what a well-made, well-crafted film. You know, what a it was just fantastic. It was like really fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I never found it boring. Um, and I go years in between, and especially things with swords, like epics. You know, like it's so hard to have good epics. Like God, they're so few and far between. Um, Typically, it's like years. Like if I had to be like, what's my favorite? What's the most recent epic I liked that wasn't the Northman? Oh my god, I'd have to sit there for like 10 minutes and think about it, being like, what is it actually? Because we sometimes go 5 or 10 years in between movies that are on this level of I don't know. We go really long periods of time where we don't get quality films in this genre. You know. Um, it was such a well it was such a well put together film, um, and it didn't do well financially. So I highly recommend that. I just highly recommend it. You know, I highly recommend it. It didn't do well financially. It deserved to. It was a fantastic film that I can't say enough nice things about. It's definitely my favorite film of the year so far. So I don't know. Probably not helpful. Probably not a helpful review, but in general, I really, 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 really like The Northman.